as a neuroscientist and someone who's interested in philosophy, do you believe in free will?
I think I'm more towards the no side, right? Because one way to first of all, it really depends on what you mean by free will. We can just go down the route of semantics around that. But
Yeah.
If it means that your brain can be in the current state it's in, and the world can be in the current state it's in, and you have a choice whether you want to do X or Y, then I would say no, because I would say, where would that choice be coming from? Because if it's not coming from your brain, it's not coming from your past memories and your conditioning and your genetics and everything. Where is it coming from? And if it's not coming from a particular place, then it's random. And then I think it's different to say things are undetermined than saying that there's some agent choosing. So it could be that there's some kind of randomness and there's an inherent, you could say, stochasticity, like there's a uncertainty what's going to happen next. But that doesn't say that there's you have the capability of choosing. So I struggle with that. I can't see how it would fit in. But of course, we have to live as if it's true. But yeah.
What's your best explanation of what a thought is or how a thought arises?
There are a lot of ways to answer that. One way to frame it is a kind of a way of your mind or brain for kind of somehow predicting what you would need in this next moment to best move ahead in your life towards your goals, towards survival. So it's like shooting this thing up out of your own will. Obviously, we don't choose what thoughts come up during our day unless we're focused in thinking. Generally, spontaneously, they emerge. It's like your brain's trying to provide you with some best guess of what is relevant for your biological system at that moment in time. And we experience it mostly through language, but I would say it's pre-verbal. So it's some kind of thing that emerges, then we give it a linguistic kind of framing, because then we're able to understand it and perceive it. Otherwise, you could say before language, we were still thinking, but it just wasn't, we weren't aware that we're thinking because you didn't have a language to frame it in, you know what I mean? But I think it's a way of your brain sending out what it seems is potentially useful information to help guide your behavior.
So take a simple example of a fork in the road.
Yeah.
And you're choosing one or the other. What's happening there? Am I sort of subconsciously factoring in some historical context for one path looks darker versus lighter or rockier versus smoother, like things like that? Is that what's happening, even though I may feel like I have a free choice in that moment?
Yeah, I think based on your past experiences and factors such as how much of a risk taker are you?
Mhm.
Have you had a traumatic experience by going down that dark road before? So your past experience taken into account. Your culture, have you been taught that it's like that's safe, that's normal? Have you lived in that kind of environment your entire life? Or have you been in a nice little palace and you never gone out into the world before, right?
Yep.
There's so many factors, and like, how can you say you're making that decision? Because your upbringing, your experiences, your tendencies, your personality, those are going to determine what you're going to do. And even if you decide, oh, like everything's telling me to go there, but I'm going to go here, but then you're making that decision based on something as well. So
Right.
There's no way out, it seems. So
it's it's a never-ending philosophical sort of decision tree of how you arrive somewhere.